y'all get like the moot bang from me.
And it should pop up in a second. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, this is going to be the Deceivers and Believers podcast, acronym D.A.B.S. We'll talk about, today we're going to be talking about crypto. I got my friend Forrest. He's going to be a special guest today. We also have another guy coming on, Jeffrey. He's got a pretty good profile, and he's pretty experienced with crypto as well. I'd like to talk about all the money systems and the things that we can do to benefit ourselves and the community and others, and hopefully dispel some misconceptions and learn some new things in this show, because I really don't know anything at 39, and I don't know anything about money, and it's quite sad. And that they've built the system this way. We should be learning about it in middle school and high school, and we just don't. So yeah, got Nate and Forrest here. Would you introduce yourself again there, Nate? You were on last time, but yeah. So
sounds good. Nate from Australia. I'm grew up in Sydney, Australia. I'm 40 years old. My background in crypto is that I've had a little dabble a couple of years back when everything was all right. I like observing things and looking at strategy, and I found that it was an interesting market. I didn't know quite much about it back then. And I had a little bit of success, which anyone did if they just got in at the right time. It's not really any skill to it at that level. And then just learning about different coins and different stuff like that, and just how the whole entire system was sort of orchestrated. And then from a background of that is just actually understanding the real finance system and what we're all stuck in right now.
Okay. Forrest.
My name is Forrest. I'm from Georgia, USA. I've been in crypto off and on since 2014, but consistently since 2017. Had some really good luck with it. I may be able to retire soon, so it's really benefiting me, and it'll be changing my lifestyle very dramatically in the near future.
You got Jeffrey calling in? All right, cool. I guess we're going to get him to introduce himself as well.
My lifestyle very dramatically.
Hey, Jeffrey.
What up?
Yeah, Jeffrey calling.
You're next. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Jeffrey Phillips. I live in Los Angeles. Let me click this off of here. There we go. Been into crypto since 2010. Bought my first few Bitcoin in 2013, and sold them all and lost a lot of crypto and been scammed a bunch and pretty much made every mistake possible 2 or 3 times. And now I pretty much, I quit my job recently, and I just help people get involved in crypto these days.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's awesome. So we got like a wide range of nothing, a little bit, moderate, and pretty skilled with it, I guess. 2010 is a long time. It's pretty much the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can ask you a lot of questions. What do you think your biggest mistake was? That's one of my big interests, is the mistakes, right? So
Thinking that you have the ability to trade crypto successfully. That's a big mistake just about everyone makes, especially when a lot of these fiat on-ramps, these exchanges, offer all these trading options. The second you get on there and you have money in there, I'm a trader now, because you feel, because you set up the account, that you somehow have the ability to do it, but it is very, 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 very difficult. And I recommend people not do it at all. Swing trading every few years is totally legit, but like day trading, you're just going to lose only like 20 to 30% of day traders.
You mean like watching numbers and trying to like capitalize on it?
Yeah, selling and buying at different times and skipping around coins and moving. Like if you have a bunch of Bitcoin and you think that Solara is going to be the big next biggest thing since it's pumping right now, and you move all your Bitcoin into Solara, and Solara next month is the big crypto of the month, so it tanks next month, and you never know. There's no crystal ball. There's no way of knowing what the markets are going to do ever. You can predict you could predict by looking at the charts when breakouts are going to happen, but you can't predict whether it's going up or down in that breakout. So there's really no way of knowing which direction the market's going to go. So it's I just advise against it. Knowing the crypto is Bitcoin is a 4-year cycle. Mm-hmm. So once you understand that there's a 4-year cycle and there's a halvening and there's a pretty much scheduled time that crypto is going to go off, Bitcoin's going to go up.
Now, what is it? What do you think it's cycling with? What's causing that cycle?
It's written into the software.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a halvening which happens every 4 years, which cuts the supply, or it makes it harder to mine crypto. So basically cuts the supply in half, thus, inflating the value.
Is that a fork, Jeff?
What's that?
Is that a fork?
Yeah, that's when the fork happens. The fork is like the beginning. It doesn't happen right on the fork, but it happens usually within 6 months of the fork happening. So once you understand that there's a cycle, you can very much plan for the bull runs and get in and get out, in the beginning and at the top. Therefore, you can buy the next bottom and keep this cycle going, basically.
Hey, Jeff, question: when do you think the top of this bull run will be?
I'm not sure when this bull run is likely going to be a lot longer than the last few. So I was saying all year, I was saying September, October is going to be the top, but obviously that's not happening. This dip that we're in right now has just been an extremely long dip, but the longer the dip, the harder the momentum up when it goes up generally. So all this dip is more opportunities for people to buy low. And then, so the longer the dip happens, the more people buy low, the pushes the price up. So, we're
halfway out of the dip. I mean, we were up to like what, 51K, and
yeah, we're back down again.
Yeah.
Once we're over 60, we'll be out of it. That's for sure. Yeah. But even this morning, we got kind of a weird little, very strange. No one was expecting this one, but that's the thing. You can't expect any of this stuff. And even if you listen to even if you watch all the YouTubers, they all generally kind of say the same thing because they all kind of rip off their own videos. So you can't even really trust those dudes. But those dudes teach you a lot if you're new. Like the terminology and what coins are happening at the moment, and which are the most promising future projects and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
What about you, Forrest? What were you gonna say? I cut you off.
Oh, I was just gonna ask what I know you recently decided that you might be interested in getting involved in crypto.
Well, I mean, my first investment ever is this house I'm in. I literally wandered through life, partying, doing nothing with myself. I just woke up to learning 6-7 years ago. So I feel like I'm a new man, a child in a man's world, pretty much. And so I'm very new to it, but I don't want my money just becoming worth nothing.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. So I'm the noble idiot in this whole conversation. So I mean,
you got a house. That's a lot. I mean, I live in California. We don't buy houses here. They're millions of dollars.
My house would be insanely expensive in California.
So. Where do you live?
I live in Allen, Texas. It's
cool.
Really nice area. If you got a family, it's a great place to live. Great schools.
Me and my girlfriend just rode our bicycles across Texas.
Yeah, everybody rides their bikes here in middle of the road. It's really annoying. So
it's pretty scary riding on the freeways out there.
Yeah. So what about you, Forrest? What's the biggest mistake you think you've made so far?
Well, I had 55 Bitcoins back in 2014, and I bought some Bitcoin mining machines from Butterfly Labs, and it took almost 2 years to get them in, and there was a no refund policy. And by the time I got them in, there was no way I could mine that many Bitcoin back. So I took a huge loss there, because if I would have just held those 55 Bitcoin, then I would have been a multimillionaire 4 years ago. And then I had a few Bitcoin left, and I had them on Mt. Gox, and then Mt. Gox shut down, so I lost 8 Bitcoin there. So I was so discouraged about that I pretty much just like turned my back on crypto for I think it was like 2 or 3 years. So that was another big mistake. So it's like those were my 3 biggest mistakes. And then when I finally got back in Bitcoin, I kept saying I'm gonna wait till it drops back down, and it just kept going up because I was like looking at it, I kept watching it, and then after it crossed 2,000, I was like, screw it, I got to get in now before it gets too high. And that was in 2017, and I've been in it consistently since 2017. I put 10 grand in 2017. I actually got a PayPal loan because I was selling on eBay, and I got a PayPal loan for 10 grand. They didn't even check my credit. They just gave it to me based on my performance on eBay, and I spent all of it on Bitcoin. And I made some mistakes by trading into altcoins at the end of the bull run, and then so I lost like a good portion. That like went at one point I was like all the way down to 15 grand, which was more than I put in dollars, but it was only like maybe 1.25 Bitcoin at the lowest. But I made some really good decisions. I started following a psychic named Michelle White Dove. She has a Patreon. I originally found out about her in 2018 on one of my favorite YouTube channels, JSnip4. And she predicted Theta was going to do super, super great. And I started buying Theta between 10 cents and 25 cents. And it ran up it's like December last year, around Christmas, I had around 25 grand worth of crypto. And I saw Theta crossed $1, and then like it dropped back down a little bit, and I just put all of it into Theta. And then in the next 3 months, Theta went all the way up to like around $16. And I traded out a lot of it. But then in May, we had the big dip, so I lost a good bit, but I almost had about $500,000 at one point. But I made some good trades, but so I held on to a good bit of it. So, but in Bitcoin terms, I'm still like close to 7 Bitcoin now. So, that helped me recoup a lot of what I should have had, but not the 55 that I lost. That was by far the biggest loss.
Hindsight's 2020, right? So
yeah.
Are you still doing well for yourself? What about you? My only regret is not getting involved in it. I got a severance check from Oilfield, and I just was going to throw the whole $3K on like a stock that was brand new when the UFC, the MMA organization, became public. I was going to just throw it in on that. That was and it's already worth like $12 more than it began. So I really regretted just not taking that money and throwing it in there. What about you, Nate? Have you made any trading or investment mistakes?
I think I started back in 2017, I think 2017, 2018. I put like literally $700-800 in. That was it. I'm more of an observer than an actor at the start. Like I am an early adopter with things, but when it comes to money, I sort of take my time. When I was an early adopter, I completely missed the start of Bitcoin. I was aware of it. My regret would probably be not jumping in early. And then since then, it would probably be not paying enough attention to altcoins and things like that. So I'm in a couple of groups, and we do things like dollar cost average. So we'll buy a bit of Bitcoin or a bit of Ethereum every other week. I do that now purely because I've made a tiny little bit of money out of the bit that I put in originally. It's like $7,000 Australian at the moment. So it's nothing compared to where you guys are. You guys have got decent amounts in it. But my only thing I would say as a regret would just be not getting more involved with it and understanding it early on and being an early adopter in something like this, because there was really low barrier to entry. There was low risk, like right back at the start. You guys are like talking about Bitcoin in, 3 digits, and it's like 40, I think it's like 40 grand or something like that at the moment for us, 55,000, I think, something like that. I haven't checked this week. So it's astronomical where it's gone. And some of my friends did early on, and it's been really good for them. But I just, it's so interesting to hear you guys about like having 55 Bitcoin and then mining and wanting to set up mining, but then not having the long tail of the logistics ironed out. It's interesting to take gambles and see where it goes, because at that stage, no one really knows what's going on, right? What was for Jeffrey and Forrest, what was the thing that made you realize there was something here to have a crack at? What was the moment where you went, this is something that I'm really involved in?
It's funny because my story is very similar to Forrest's, because I had like 18 Bitcoin and I was mining and like I was doing all this stuff, and I bought a bunch of just, you should see how, God, the altcoins that existed in like 2013, 2014 were an absolute joke. And I lost millions of dollars on these things. like I can't even, like, it's funny to think back of how much of a joke the altcoins we had back then. Now, when warning people about altcoins now, it's like the projects running now are really, really nice compared to the ones we had back then, but there's still a lot of scams out there. And I just bought into like some dumb, there was like the first anonymous coin, which was like, it was called like Anon X or something. I was just like, because I was, an anarchist and a libertarian, I was just like, ooh, anonymous coin. So I put like 10 Bitcoin on this coin, and it went to zero. Like zero, went all the way down and bounced off the bottom for like 3 weeks. We're all sitting there waiting for it to come back, and it just stopped moving. And we were like, so I got really upset, and I only had like a quarter Bitcoin left after all this just mess, just making all these wrong moves. And I got really pissed, and I left it in my Bittrex account. And fast forward 6 years later, Bitcoin hits like it was 17,000 or something, and I was like, holy shit, I got some money. And so I went to go get into my Bittrex account, and they wouldn't let me in because my phone had changed and my email had changed. And so I like fought with these guys for 3 months, and like during that time it went up to around 20, and I just remember, like, they basically told me it was gone, and I was just like, there's no way you can not let me into this account. And so I remembered that I had a cell phone that was shattered from back then. And I went and got it fixed. I paid like a stupid money to fix this old phone, and it turned on, and it was still logged into my Bittrex. And I was like, oh my God. And so I looked in, and there was like $13,000. Because I had gotten some forks and like just like this pile of coins built up in this account. So at the time I needed the money, so I cashed out completely. And then I started dollar cost averaging back in, and I dollar cost averaged all through the bear season, up until I stopped buying Bitcoin at 20K and started focusing more on alts and like, and then recently I just didn't have to work anymore. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to stay home and, help people out. Cause every time Bitcoin starts pumping, like everyone comes to me like, hey, you're the only guy I know. So, I've just been doing that, and it's been really cool because I've been helping people buy like a couple times, like several $100,000 worth of crypto. And like, I'm bringing a lot of money into the it's been mind blowing. I'm sure, Forrest, you understand, coming from Bitcoin starting with like libertarian computer nerds in 2010 to it's all anyone is talking about now, and I can't go get my hair cut without my old lady barber talking to me about it. It's really mind blowing watching everything, but like I don't really regret all the coins I lost. Like I learned a lot during that time, and I learned enough to know now what not to do while the money's big, And even I still there's a game called Axie Infinity that's really big right now. That's like a huge crypto game, and I got scammed for $1,300 on that game last month.
Oh my God, I got scammed for $2,000 because my shit wouldn't load, and somebody tried to help me, and they just took all my shit.
On Axie?
Mm-hmm.
No way. Oh my God, dude. I don't know. I'm making a video soon about that whole experience. They won't even respond to
That's my
They won't
thing.
even respond to their emails. It's
So
crazy.
there's a bunch of scammers, right? I get all kinds of Instagram messages. Hey, you want to blah, blah, blah. Do you know
that's
anything?
Forex. Those are, the Forex scam is like obvious. They're all
Fishers.
over the place.
Fishers.
Yeah, it's some hot chick, and she's like, hey, like I'm a Forex
in a
trader.
boardroom full of people at a high rise.
That stuff's kind of obvious. The scams that are harder are the ones like we just fell into, where you sign up for a game that is legit game, and it's just I don't even know how I got scammed, and I've been doing this shit forever. And
so it's like what,
all of
poker
a
for
sudden
crypto?
my MetaMask was empty, and I was like,
As
holy
a general rule, I don't add anybody on Facebook or Instagram that advertises they're into Bitcoin mining, or Forex, because 99% of the time they're scammers or catfish.
For sure. So somehow we got fished, I guess. But you just can't, like, I don't know, like, it's happened so many times that I just can't let it bother me, because I know the future is going to be fine, and everyone has their war stories. Every person I talk to that I help get into crypto, they're like, man, I almost freaking bought, it's like everyone has those stories. We all wish we bought more crypto at 2 cents, Bitcoin at 2 cents,
one of the biggest reluctance on Bitcoin and crypto is we live in such a high anxiety driven world, and people are afraid and fear of what their life is right now.
They use that. They use the, I didn't buy it back then, to stop them from doing it now. And like, I've had so many friends over the years, the last 3 bull runs, I'm like, hey, we're going into a bull run, you should put some money into this. And they're like, and then the next year they're like, oh wow, like everyone kind of has to go through this like process of like, ups and downs to actually learn how to deal with the stuff. But it's still very tricky. I still even I even still lose crypto, and I still make moves. Occasionally I'll like pull a little cash aside to trade with, and I'll lose it all. Like, and I know I'm going to lose it all, and I lose it all anyway, like it's a lot of trouble.
What pairs do you trade? Do you leverage trade, or do you do like Bitcoin versus the dollar, or what?
I just hodl. I just hodl and accumulate and DCA basically when I have money, but I haven't bought any crypto in a long time. I mean, I bought some.
I mean, when you trade, you say you trade, like, do you do Bitcoin versus the dollar, or what do you trade? What pairs do you trade?
I'm trading. If I am trading, I'm going to be trading Bitcoin against ETH, and then ETH, and then those two against the dollar. But I'm going to stop doing the dollar soon. For the 2024 bull run, I'm changing everything that I'm doing, because in the future, like, Bitcoin versus ETH is really like, that's the Jedi shit. Like, once you figure out that,
I've got a plan that is in theory foolproof, that I'm gonna do a little bit of after we hit the top or closer to the top. Have you ever heard of WBTC, Wrap Bitcoin?
Yeah.
So Wrap Bitcoin fluctuates like within like maybe like 0.5% of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So like you find like an exchange like maybe Coinbase Pro that has Bitcoin versus WBTC, and so you just, whenever like Wrap Bitcoin is like 99.5% the cost of Bitcoin, put all your Bitcoin into Wrap Bitcoin.
And you're talking about arbitrage.
Yeah, and then wait till it flips, and you could just keep doing that, and there's like pretty much zero risk.
Well, you could write a bot. I could show you a bot that'll do it for you. It's pretty dope. But anyway, this shit goes super deep. Like,
yeah, but see, the thing is, if you have the more Bitcoin you have to start with, say you have like 10 Bitcoin, you could probably make, I don't know, like 1,000 a day doing that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
What?
Yeah. Well, if you have a lot of crypto, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's pretty much guaranteed. So I'm gonna probably like put like 2 Bitcoin into it, like at the height of the bull run, when I'm gonna cash out like maybe a couple $100,000 or a few $100,000 to pay off all my bills, and then keep at least a couple in Bitcoin, just to do that, so I can live off that money that I make.
I'm going 100% into stable coins at the top. I'm not holding anything. I'm gonna re-DCA once we go back down. I'm gonna DCA the whole time, but I'm not holding anything through this bull. Once we get to the top, I'm going all into stable coins for sure. but it's scary. It's scary.
Are you gonna go like all in Tether? Or are you gonna like divide it between?
No, I'm not. I don't use Tether. I'm gonna use USDT and USDC and then I stake also. So I'm gonna put it all into stable coins, and then I'm gonna stake those stable coins until I start doing dollar cost averaging.
So are you gonna use BlockFi, or what are you gonna stable?
Yeah, I use BlockFi, and I use BlockFi. BlockFi and Bitcoin and crypto.com, and then I have a ledger where I have my bags I don't fuck with, basically. And Ledger, once your crypto's on the Ledger wallet, that's the safest place in the world for it to be. And then you can stake in your wallet. It's just for a smaller percentage. But like, I don't give a shit if it's only 2%. I'm making 2% on a lot of stablecoin, and it's only going up during the whole bear season. So anyway, I make videos when crypto's going up. I make videos like every week.
What is your YouTube channel again, if you want to tell everybody?
Jeffrey the Libertarian.
Okay.
But I mostly do it on Facebook, but I'm on a ban right now.
Me too.
Yeah, we're all on bans. So, but yeah. And I also, have you guys heard of Flote? Flote.app.
Nope.
No.
Flote's like a really cool social media site that's made by, owned by some really cool people that are not into censorship and all that stuff. But anyway, it's run by Bitcoin, and you can actually, as like a content creator, they have all the same things that Patreon and YouTube offer. Super chats, you can get anything you do, you can get Bitcoin tips from people. Like
it's called flote.com?
Flote.app. But
okay.
Over there, you can also have your Patreon section that's paid, and I have a group over there of dudes that have been following me for a while. I help lots of people on Facebook, but it's like kind of entry level stuff. But like my more advanced, like planning for the next bull run in 2025, I do there. But Flote's really cool. If you haven't seen it, if you're a content creator, you can live stream from there. You can do super chat where people come in the chat and they could tip you out, and they let you keep everything. They don't take anything. Like YouTube takes like a lot of your super chat. It's a very cool site. I'm streaming, we'll probably stream this on there later. And they're based out of, they just had their Float Fest, and that's why I rode my bike across Texas, was to go to their festival that was in Goss. You know where Goss is?
No, I don't. I just moved here a couple years ago.
East of Austin, just in the middle of nowhere. But they're really cool people. I spoke at the event. It was pretty fun. But anyway, so yeah, crypto. So you're gonna buy you are going to buy some now, or what are you thinking, Preston?
I am learning at this moment. I like to grasp and have an understanding of it all, and download it all.
What Nate mentioned was dollar cost averaging. Mm-hmm. This is something that really blows people's minds when I explain it to them. You'll make way more money buying small amounts. Like everyone's like, oh, I don't have money to buy Bitcoin. They think they need 10, 20 grand. If you buy 10, 20 grand of Bitcoin today or yesterday, you're now down to 15 grand because it just dumped, But if you buy $1,000 worth every month, despite the price, you have the chance of buying lower.
Okay.
You also have the chance of constantly buying higher too, but crypto usually goes down more than it goes up. So the odds are better when you're doing DCA, and you don't want to do DCA during the bull run. You want to do DCA during the bear market, which is the quiet time when everything goes down.
That's one theory, but like I said, I put 10 grand in 4 years ago when it was 2,000, and that was a great decision. So
for sure. I mean, like I said, if Bitcoin's if it's a couple of years ago and Bitcoin's 3,000, yeah, if you put in 10 grand, then you're in really good shape. But like in a different time when we're in a different place, not just the pit bottom of the bear market.
So you're saying just basically just be steadfast and constantly just chip in.
Basically, I tell people to buy Bitcoin and ETH until 2024, and you're retired. Basically, like any chance you get, no matter, don't even look at the dollar price. It completely is irrelevant. You just need to accumulate as much as possible.
And you can put in any kinds of increments, or
yeah, you can buy $1 worth.
Okay.
And a lot of the altcoins are
buy
fractions of a sentence. Yeah.
Set up an account on Coinbase Pro, because Coinbase, just a regular Coinbase, they're going to charge you like a really high fees.
If you have a Coinbase account, you can type that account info into Coinbase Pro, and they allow you in there. Coinbase Pro was something that Coinbase made for their friends and family to buy cheap crypto, but then they just allowed everyone to use it. But they don't really tell everyone about it because it's I don't know, it doesn't make them as much money, obviously. But yeah, Coinbase Pro or I like crypto.com because they're in a tax haven, in the Mediterranean, and they don't talk to the IRS, and I like buying from them versus Coinbase, who has a IRS office in their office. But Coinbase is like the easiest place to buy. Like if you're entry level, everyone starts off on Coinbase, and it's like a rite of passage to leave it, because like at a certain point you learn enough about the other exchanges that you're able to go on there and navigate them. So you don't have to use the really expensive, cheap, easy place to buy Bitcoin.
When you're ready to cash out large amounts, like I don't know, maybe more than 20 grand at a time, set up an account with Caleb and Brown, and they're like crypto brokers. They're based out of Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, Jeffrey, you said that app was called Flote. Do you spell it F-L-O-T-E?
FLOTE.app. FLOTE.app is the website, and it's super cool website. Cool libertarians own it. They're basically they allow. I don't know. You were talking about UFC. I stream UFC on Flote to everyone on Flote, and they allow us to do whatever we want. And basically, they'll only tell us to stop if they're like threatened with being shut down. They like make it. Any other website, they're going to be like they're going to stop you from doing things right off the bat. They basically allow us to do stuff until like really like serious.
Well, if it's just you and your friends watching it, right?
Stream UFC there forever. Like I have it behind my, if you regulate your account enough, you can literally get away with murder on there. And they let us do anything on there. It's really cool. It's nice having a place where you can post anything. Like I can't post shit on Facebook because I'll either get banned or one of my baby mamas is going to find out and I'll hear about it in court or something, like
one time I was live streaming on Facebook at the man camp in the oil field, and the UFC was across the room, and it picked up a minute of audio and banned my whole video.
No way.
I was like,
that's crazy. Yeah, dude, I stream the entire fights every Saturday. And I did the Jake Paul fight the other day. Like it's funny because dudes are on there just like stoked because they got to pay $75 to watch that shit every day. Like that's expensive. But yeah, whenever
you should be able to share stuff between just your friends, though. You should be able to share. Yeah, it's like, why do it has to be in my house? He's my friend. I want to share it with him.
That totally makes sense. You should be allowed to stream it to like 4 people or something. If you're paying top dollar for it.
FLOTE.app.
FLOTE.app.
I'm going to have to join up on that website for sure. So I want to talk about the journey from an outsider's perspective a little bit on Bitcoin and the conspiracy, since it is I do Deceivers and Believers, and it's pretty much my crowd is flat earthers and et cetera, et cetera. When I first heard about it, I was still watching Alex Jones, and he was like, "That's part of the New World Order," and blah 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 blah, and you're gonna make the dollar worth less. So, what's your? Do you have anything that might agree to that? Do you think this is a step towards that direction, but it's inevitable anyway, right? Is that?
Yeah, well, this Bitcoin and 99% of these cryptos are not controllable by a government.
Right, but what I'm
What
saying
these
is
guys-
it's getting people to accept digital currency.
Yeah, like you said, it's inevitable. Like I got a lot of guys I know. I deal with crypto haters all the time. Like it's kind of a sport for me.
I was almost
But I
there.
have some buddies. Yeah, I have some buddies that are just like not going to buy it because they think it's the new world order money, and it's like, dude, so you're gonna stay broke? You're not gonna take advantage? Like I retired. Like I worked hard for 3 years, and I'm retired now, and like won't probably ever have to work. Hopefully not ever have to worry about working again for the rest of my life, and my kids won't struggle because I've already made them wallets now. So obviously when they're 20, they're going to be balling and they won't have to struggle like I did, like those kinds of things. It's like, so you're just going to let this conspiracy theory, it's so cool to be anti-crypto right now too. Like the like contrarian, but no, if we do get a digital, our dollar is worthless anyway. So if they make a digital dollar, who fucking cares? It's going to be worthless as our normal dollar. What difference does it make? You aren't forced to use. The cool thing about crypto is you're not forced to use it, and you won't be forced to use the digital dollar that comes out anyway. The digital dollar is going to suck balls. Like all cryptos do different things, right? Fundamentals are all different. You have really good fundamental cryptos, and you have really shitty ones like XRP. And then if the government makes one, it's going to be the worst piece of shit coin, and no one's going to want to use it.
Like already digital. They'll just take away the paper.
I know, yeah. So, dude, the price of gold is digital. The price of silver is digital. It's all digital. So, like, it's something we hear that all the time, but it's like, it's okay, yeah, maybe, like it's a thought to have, it's something to ponder on, but it's not a reason to stop you. It's not a reason to boycott all crypto. It's like boycotting the internet. It's like, oh, this internet's books are way better than the internet. Fuck the internet. And then like boycotting the internet and thinking that you're like cool or something because of that. I don't know. It's silly, but there's a lot of, there's like the whole thing about Bitcoin using a ton of electricity, right? Let's look at every single bank on the planet.
Is that really a real thing?
Every computer, every light bulb, and every single bank branch on this planet. You think that's not taking a lot of electricity? Like, holy shit.
That's a real argument?
Well, Bitcoin takes a lot. It does take a lot of electricity. Yeah. All the mining machines around the world,
Let me jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bitcoin is the best investment of all time, and it's the only investment that the government and the IRS will never be able to take from you if you know how to secure it properly. Like, for instance, I have my crypto on a Trezor, and I have the seed phrase wrote down in 2 different locations, and I have 2 words left off of the seed phrase, and those words are memorized in my brain.
Yeah.
So it'd be impossible for me to lose. And plus I have it on my Google Drive with those 2 words missing. So
and no one will ever be able to prove he has it.
Yeah.
They can't take it from him outside of him like having to like them holding a gun to his head.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The only way somebody could take my money is somebody kidnaps me and sticks a gun in my head, and like.
But they wouldn't even know he had any. Yeah. Like, they wouldn't even know. So it's like you can literally.
Bitcoin is the most secure of all the crypto. Like if all the governments in the world, if they pooled all the resources, they still wouldn't be able to hack it.
Yeah, no supercomputers. All they're like, oh, the supercomputer's coming out and they're gonna hack it. Nah.
Unless you try and
take it out. The Bitcoin network is faster and more secure than the fastest supercomputers in the world.
And those supercomputers, if running supercomputers make so much money that they would have to shut it all down and take a loss to attack a blockchain. Like, it doesn't make any, like it wouldn't make any sense financially as well as regulatory. But like, none of these countries know, like the US knows they will make trillions of dollars in tax revenue off crypto. They don't want to force crypto out of the US to friendlier countries that are going to take advantage of that shit. Like the government's going to fucking, shut it down. Nah, dude, this is going to save the government, probably. Like, unfortunately, possibly, you know, they're going to make a shitload of money.
As long as people are getting involved in it, and they're still working towards the workforce of the community.
I mean, we got whole countries that are taking it on as their dollar, like as their actual currency.
Yeah, my friend Fenry said this woman, in Argentina paid for her apartment with crypto,
they just airdropped everyone there like $300 in Bitcoin. They just airdropped everyone in the country, like very interesting stuff. Yeah.
Oh
wow, interesting.
I think from a strategy perspective, there's a big segue, right? So Bitcoin's a good way to get into the market and things and do things before the government comes in and fucks it all up, because that's what they come and do, right? And a big part of them fucking it all up is wanting to dominate and control. So of course their product's going to be inferior. Of course they're going to try and sell it to the masses that it's the fucking next best thing, and people will buy it up because they trust government before they trust things that are and the thing is, like you guys said, like
unfortunately,
you guys are both like Jedi level fucking crypto compared to me and Preston, and the stories you talk about, the scams and things, for people just to get their head around normal coins, and the altcoins, that whole concept of that part is so big and dense that, of course, everyone that's just going in and not knowing what the fuck they're doing is going to get scammed, because they're ignorant to the fact that it's such a dynamic thing they're playing with. So guys like you are really good to sort of hear, because if you do have a loss, you realize that it's nothing in comparison to what you guys have probably been through.
Yeah. And I mean, like mostly like when I have someone who's just like knows nothing, you know, like that's why I do what I'm doing, is I make these videos that are just so ungodly simple to understand. And you know, it's the reason why, like, everyone who bought Bitcoin back in 2011, 2012, like, we all lost our passwords. No one ever wrote their passwords down. You hear it all the time. Oh, I didn't write down my passphrase. I just clicked buy it and then I lost my phone. Like, we all learned that lesson. So there's so much crypto that's never going to be in circulation because of that. That's a good thing. It's built in to where when anyone loses their crypto, or like the government, you know, like throws some guy in jail and his shit's there forever, you know, like, and it's lost, like, that makes Bitcoin worth more. Like, it's pretty interesting stuff when you dive deep into like the white paper and the fundamentals of these cryptos, how many of these like interesting redundancies and like anti-inflationary, you know, soft programmed into them. That's why we're also like, I lost, you know, like in 2017, you know, those 18 Bitcoin, that was worth a lot of money then, you know, like, but we know, you know, that the future, like, as long as you have it, as long as you're involved, and as long as you have some in the future, we're going to be fine. And like, you know, like, I just set my mom, my sisters, my brother, like, I just sent them all an ETH and set them up with our wallets, and they're buying now. And it's just like I told my mom, I'm like, just throw $50 in, you know, here and there, like a couple times a month till 2024. And that's it. Like, in 2024, you'll have at least $200,000-$400,000 if you do that, you know.
So what is a good mindset for people trying to sort of start this?
I would recommend just start dollar cost averaging, like whatever you can put in each week. Like if you could do 100 a week or 500 a week or 1,000 a week, whatever you can afford every week, just start now. Like, don't think about it too long. Just go ahead and get in there, get your feet wet, dive in. And I would say I would recommend buying just Bitcoin and Ethereum until you really know a lot more about the market and what coins are really gonna to do. But at least keep a large portion of your money in Bitcoin. If you're gonna go like majority into altcoins like I did, it's a big gamble, and like it may pay off big time, or you may lose a lot. You know, I just did it because, you know, the psychic that I was following has a really great reputation, is like the #1 psychic in America, and it paid off for me. But, you know, you might be following somebody that's not psychic or whatever, or just make a bad call and lose all your money. So keep most of your money in Bitcoin and Ethereum would be like the safe bet.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got somebody in chat. I guess it's your question. I am because we are one love, blah, blah, blah. What happens if the system collapses? The plug is pulled. How would you access it? I guess that's the ultimate conspiracy right there.
well,
The
yeah.
fight,
And
the
if
end
that's
of.
the only thing you have to worry about, then we don't have a lot of stuff to worry about. We're always
only
going to have
way-
electricity. We're always going to be able to use a generator. But like at that point, we're going to be so fucked, we aren't even going to be worried about crypto. You know,
Yep.
like that's going to be the Stone Ages.
You're
Like,
worried about farming.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be worried about
That's the only way.
surviving.
The only way the government could destroy Bitcoin is to turn the internet and the electricity off for the whole world and leave it off. And at that point, you're not going to be able to use dollars either. So you might as well go ahead and invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got over here. Pull the plug. See, yeah, that's the main thing. I think of the end of Fight Club whenever I think of them controlling the market again. So you get everybody in digital currency, and then you crash the market, and then you say, here's the solution, like problem reaction solution, the typical.
We're walking towards the universal basic income. That's their angle. Digital currencies for all central banks. Like they're all moving the same all the central banks and the big governments have been observing Bitcoin for a long time, and they're looking at how the everyone's adopting it, people are interested in things like that, and they're trying to do their own version of that just to fuck everybody. I think that's the direction they're taking, is wiping physical any sort of real dollar that you've got
Owning
that's
anything.
tangible.
You'll own nothing and be happy, right? Yeah.
Same as like the silver and the gold market, right? Like that's a question for you guys. With all the money that you crypto and the success that you had, have you looked at hedging on anything like a traditional market, like a physical silver or gold?
Not really. I have both, but it's been my worst performing asset I've ever bought in my life, you know, and like I don't know how I'm ever going to use it in the field because I can't verify what I'm trading, you know, like unless you bring a whole assaying office with you, you have to melt that shit down to even know what it is. So you're leaving yourself way open to get ripped off using it silver and gold in the field, because it's the most counterfeited thing on the planet, basically. And then just the price again is digital. The price again is tied to governments and shit.
Yeah.
And you know, like
about that precious metal.
And again, like we aren't to the person who's like, oh well, what if the power goes out? We're not saying go all in. I'm all in, but I don't tell people to go all in on crypto. You know, you need to have a broad spectrum.
I'm all in on crypto too.
Investments.
I think precious metals, you know, you might want to have maybe 5 or 10% in precious metals if you choose to, but the thing is you got to secure it. You got to have a good vault. You got to have a good security system on your house. And then, you know, if people know about it, then that makes you a target. Crypto,
take it from you.
Crypto, you can store it in your brain if you can remember just a few words. So
if you try and leave the country with gold, they want to they're gonna know about it, and it's heavy and it costs money, you know, and stable coins basically are, you know, these precious metal hedges that we're going to use because they, you know, like I'm gonna put all my shit in stable coins, then I'm putting it in my Ledger wallet, staked for like 2%, and just leave it and like just be happy that that my shit's solid and that it's going up a little bit. And when that, you know, 2% of a big bag is a lot of money, you know, at the end of the day, depending on how much big, you know, how big the alt season is. Whoa. Yeah, so it's gonna be, you know, and everyone has their different plan, and that's kind of the thing. Like we've all done things in the past a couple times the wrong way, you know, and we know, you know, this round I'm not doing what I did last time, which is just pull it all out in cash and spend it all on, like, I needed some shit and I needed like a truck and stuff, so it was cool. But if I had kept in, you know, I'd have a lot more now. But again, the whole shoulda, woulda, coulda stuff, like it's just super irrelevant.
Do y'all pay attention to, like, because I've noticed like when Elon Musk says something, the market will jump up and down too. Do you pay attention to anything like that? Because I've seen it where he said to buy it, and then the price of it went way up, and then
he doesn't. Everyone's giving him a lot of credit. He said a couple things. Most his people have Tesla stock. You know, they're not buying the crypto. They're not holding the crypto. They're the first guys to sell when it goes down a little bit. They're the first to panic sell. I don't pay attention to anything that dude does. He's a freaking wolf in sheep's clothing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying listen to Elon Musk. I'm saying they purposely put out messages to the public to get a reaction out of the market.
They're trying to get people.
Let me jump in about
on Dogecoin.
Let me jump in about Elon Musk. He's like one of the biggest scammers on earth. For one, you know, he has this little fake, you know, I don't forget what they call it, but the little rocket he sends into quote outer space.
I have a whole series on YouTube.
Like we all know that outer space doesn't exist, and there is no other planets out there. I mean, there's planets, but they're just points of light and frequency.
They're luminaries. Yeah.
He's just luminary. So he's just using that to scam, you know, millions of investors so he can make billions of dollars off other people's ignorance. Like he's in the Illuminati. He's in the the elite. He knows that the earth realm is a flat realm, and he's just scamming people. He's like the biggest scammer out there. Like he's nothing but a wolf in sheep's clothing.
The first time I ever researched on him, I was wondering how he got famous, and I went and looked at his wiki page. It just basically says he had a business and he bought that business, sold that business, bought that business, sold that business.
He's a legacy buyer. He buys stuff and says he invented it, but he doesn't.
He's a mama's rich boy. And
there is a commercial with Elon Musk in it that is a balding commercial that was around in the early 90s. No one has it. Everyone remembers it. They wiped it off of the fucking planet basically because in order to keep his story going. But yeah, no, I wouldn't even say he's a part of the elite. He's just a tool of the elite. He's just a actor. That's just, he got the dopest job on the planet. Hey, guess what? You get to fucking do whatever the fuck you want. And
my favorite Elon Musk moment was when he threw that brick through that car window.
Oh my, the fake spider web that happened in the glass. I don't even get started on that douchebag. But yeah, no, they want people putting money into stupid, pointless coins like Doge. So decentralized finance is the most amazing thing to happen to our fucking planet, basically. So Ethereum, Preston, you'll be interested in this. So we got Bitcoin, which is digital money, right? It's digital gold. It's a pile of gold that verifies itself every 10 seconds. You can send it anywhere in the world. No one knows you have it. No one can take it from you. Digital gold, dope as fuck, right? Ethereum is smart contracts. So me and my son, right? I made a smart contract with my son that's going to pay him his crypto if he gets a certain grade in his when he gets out of high school, right? So the smart contract is going to go to my son's school, check his grades, and release the money to him, or send it back to me. No one else is involved. No bank is involved. No trust is involved. Nothing. It's like a digital will, basically.
How it should be.
That's smart contracts. Yeah. So smart contracts are the third person, the third party that's going to get rid of the banks. Why do I need a bank involved if I want to loan you money? So DeFi, decentralized finance, is banking decentralized without a central, dickheads, Rothschilds and shit. You got to go beg them for loans. No, you can download an app, which is a DeFi app or a DeFi coin token. They're just different programs. So you can get a loan from this app that is, that is connected to no other human, that is going to follow through no matter what with the deal that you guys agreed to in the smart contract. So that, those two things explained in that way, that took me 10 years to figure that shit out. In the beginning, if I'd have known that, that was the direction we were going, it would have been so anyway, DeFi, decentralized finance, it's all underneath. It's all from Ethereum. Most of it's from Ethereum, all the big stuff. So if you buy Ethereum, you're buying DeFi. DeFi, there's 10,000 DeFi coins right now, but a lot of them are fucking world-changing platforms. So why we say just buy Bitcoin and ETH is because they're kind of the two successful cryptos. All the other ones are wannabes at this point. But what is happening underneath ETH is freaking amazing. So if you want to just if you don't want to dive into all the altcoins and buy like 25 different coins, you can just buy ETH, because everything that's happening in that realm is under ETH for the most part.
Okay,
So,
we got 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
I got to pay for, I guess, Google Workspace to get.
Oh wow,
longer.
really?
Yeah, to get longer. It gives me a free hour with multiple.
This is another reason we should do this on Flote. Jitsi, you can download Jitsi on your thing, and we could do all this on Flote for free.
And I can stream it. I can stream it.
You're allowed to run a 24-hour stream on Flote if you want.
But can he upload it to YouTube? I mean,
what I'm doing,
you can just record it.
My NVIDIA card streams it, broadcasts it to my YouTube, so I could use Flote or whatever, and then stream it to you.
Record it here and then send it over there, or vice versa.
Or however. Yeah.
Jeffrey, on the ETH stuff, where would you find more about the smart contracts and how to set them up? Is that through the app, or you have to learn how it works?
Yeah, the different tokens do different things. There's so many programs coming out that do so many different things that you just have to get involved, really. You just have to nerd out on this stuff, and once you like there's Polkadot, and there's all these platforms coming out that are just it seems like a bunch of gobbledygook until you get in there and you find out the use case. Use case is the most important thing to find out about these cryptos. What does it do in plain English? What does this do? Oh, this tracks this. That's going to make the world more efficient at shipping and receiving. That's a good VeChain. VeChain is going to speed up world shipping and receiving. Right now, shipping and receiving around the world is really slow. VeChain is going to speed that up. Obviously, that's good for the world. That might be a token you might want to buy, So we got a minute. So
we got 2 minutes left. Be sure to send me y'all's social media platforms and links so I can put them down below in the comment section or the description, so people can find Flote. They can find these websites, where to find you guys. And so people get involved.
The Flote's super
crypto
dope.
wallet, the coin exchange. Send me all the links that we talked about during the show, so if people are watching it and interested, they can just click down.
We got referral links and shit. You sign up and they give you free Bitcoin. There's a lot of really cool referral links for a lot of these exchanges and stuff. But cool guys.
Yeah, we're under a minute. I wish I would have I asked Forrest about this. He's a good friend of mine. That's why I trusted it. It was over, I've known you for about 6 years now, I would say.
There's really not a lot of people that know that much about crypto. So you got coming across two people is pretty hard these days. There's a lot of people that think they know what they're talking about that don't really have that experience of losing. And we both have lost a lot. And that's the real experience,
Well, it was nice chatting. It was a good show on crypto. Thanks, guys. Oh, that's it. Oh. Cool. All right. Let me turn this off.